Hello, welcome to Ephemera Files by Tommy, and today in this video I am going to make another of the pieces for the Mayhem Mystery Junk Journal Challenge. That's a mouthful, and that is hosted by Dear Julie. I will have links to her videos below. And for today, from the parts, I drew a fabric flip with a mystery. And I'm going to have to look up what it means to have a mystery. But I also have, from the embellishments and enhancements, I have paint, pen or a pencil, and funny enough, a gift bag or a bag, which I drew last time and forgot to use. But it's going to be the main part of this one. So I don't think I will forget it this time. So here's my gift bag. It's different from the one that I picked out last time because I needed to make a fabric flip. And I got this at Christmas. I can't remember what was in it, but it is a gift bag. It's got the ribbons that tie it up and all of that. So that's what I'm using, and I think it's going to work really, really well. All right, in order to make it a flip though, and I'm going to make it a floating flip, I need to use an envelope. So I pulled out my envelope. I have all my pens and pencils are right here. All my paint is right here. So I can just grab those. The main thing I'm going to work on right now is the fabric flip part. So let's get started. I already know that I'm going to have to cut the ends off of my envelope because it is too wide. And so I am just going to real quick trim about 1/4 of an inch off of each end. See, that's a half, that's 1/4. Try cutting that again. I didn't get all the way through. Now, the next thing I need to do is cut my fabric. Whoops. I'm going to set these up here so that I don't lose them again like I did last time. I'm going to untie this ribbon. Because I think that this particular kind of fabric that's on here, it's kind of a tulle fabric, T-U-L-L-E. And I know that if I cut it off, it's going to fray a lot at the end, and eventually it won't even be a fabric flip, it'll be a bunch of strings hanging. So I want to make sure that the end of it is finished. So I think I'm having to think really hard. I think what I'm going to do is cut it across this way, and then I will be able to cut that edge off, and I can make sure that I have this down here hemmed so that it doesn't disintegrate. I want it to be just slightly narrower than the envelope. And it has this second layer inside of it. I don't know what that fabric is, but I'm going to use it as a part of the flip. And I need to grab my cover because I don't know how long this needs to be. So here's what I'm using for my cover. So it's determining the size of everything. It's just a cracker box. And it's going to hang over the page, so I can measure. Let's see, let's tuck this back up under there. And then we'll put that there. And so it's going to cut off right above there. Actually, I did that the wrong way because I'm wanting to retain that bottom hem. I think I like the way that hem looks better. So I want to do it this way. I mean, it could hang out the bottom. It would be okay, but it's not the look that I want. So I'm just going to cut this across here. This part will be glued up under the envelope, so I'm not worried about fraying because it will be contained with the glue. And I might be able to even make a pocket out of that in another place in the journal. Okay, I kind of like that. All right, so let's see. I need to cut this so that the hem is still there, and I'm going to cut away from it just a little bit so I can glue it back together. And I'm going to cut right on that crease, actually just to the inside of it so that it doesn't lay weird inside the journal, if I can help it. We'll see if that happens. And there I've got some more stuff to put in my journal. All right, so did that go the way I wanted it to? Yay, it did. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this part down real quick. And because there's extra fabric down here, that'll also help weight it down a little, I think. But I have multiple layers here, so I'm going to have to glue multiple times. Let's put some clips on there because it doesn't seem to be staying down on its own. So we'll just help it for a minute or two. I found out what mystery means. It just means that it has to have a job, which, you know, I think I'm going to have that covered because I know what I'm doing, and I think that'll be part of it. So I'm going to get the clips off of here. And I just realized that that is one layer, so it's not going to have this particular piece showing as a layer of the flip because it's all going to move as one. And that's fine. That's fine. So I can move my cover out of the way because I don't need it right now. And the first thing I need to do, you may not have to do this because your envelope may work just fine. I had to cut mine down, if you remember. Cut 1/4 of an inch off of each side. So I need to glue it back together so it's an envelope. Because this will be the mystery / job part of this. And we'll just repeat that for these little random flowers here. And the ones that I did in blue, I'm going to add some red to the centers of it as well. Well, the ones that look like that, not the ones that have that circle. Just to pull the colors together. And I'm going to come back with the blue and do the same thing in the reds that I did. just now. So I'm going to get that one, and then each of these little random flowers that are extra. Let's see. I'm just going to see what this looks like. Let's experiment. Ooh, I like that. So we're going to add some gold to the centers as well. Some of this gold marker, which just kind of pulls the three colors together. All right, so now for the pencil. I have to use a pencil. I think I'll do this. I'm just going to kind of outline some of this here. And it's a white pencil. And it's a really dark paper, so I would think that the white would show up fairly well. And then I'm just going to repeat, echoing this line out, just to give it a little movement. Okay, and so there is my fabric flip with a mystery. Has that pocket right there. Let's see, and I used a gift bag and pen or pencil, and somewhere around here is my strip that says paint. There it is. Used all of them, and this would go over a page like this. If this was a page in your journal, it would just go over the page like that. And you really, when you have this, you don't really have to put a paper clip over it. You could. And sometimes I will do it just to keep the fabric from flapping more than it's supposed to. And that would just slide right on there. I'm not going to do it over the envelope. You could also put it up over the envelope to keep the whole thing together, like right up here. But I don't want to mess with the paint because the paint actually needs to cure. Even though it's dry to the touch, it needs to cure. And so you would take this off, and there's your fabric flip. Oh, you do see that part. I may have to put something down there since you do see that. And another paper, and you've got the space underneath. And then you turn it over, and you've got this surprise pocket up here, which I may do a little bit more decorating on, especially since my gold seeped under right there. And it just works just like that. Actually, I think I can do this like that and not mess it up too much. I like it. I think it turned out great. Even if I do say so myself. So there's my fabric flip with the mystery, which just means that it has a job. And I have used these pieces. The pen or the pencil, I used the white pencil, I used the gift bag, and I used paint. So, thank you for joining me today. And as always, be kind. Bye.